mean, we'll have to see how it plays out. I am pleased, however, that they're finally looking at doing something about it instead of just approving high-density rezoning after rezoning after rezoning.
Well, a resolution passed by Horry County leaders this week looks at limiting rezonings along a portion of Highway 90, and community members, well, they're getting mixed reviews.
Yeah, it was passed by the county's Infrastructure and Regulation Committee. County leaders hope it will help with the congestion in the area until the road can get fixed.
County leaders tell me they need to limit rezonings until they can figure out where they'll get the money to fix the multi-million-dollar highway, and they tell me that's what this resolution aims to do. Yet neighbors in the area tell me they have concerns about some of the words county leaders used. Horry County community members may want a moratorium on high-density rezonings along Highway 90, but they won't get one.
It's not a moratorium. You really can't put a moratorium based on what our attorney tells us.
Instead, Horry County Councilman Danny Hardy says leaders can pass this resolution.
We're going to do a resolution that says there will be no more rezonings until we got some plans for Highway 90.
It says County Council will limit rezonings along Highway 90 from US 501 business in Conway to South Carolina Highway 22, something Tammy Baker has concerns with.
That word limiting concerns me. They were going to limit the rezonings. To me, that's not halting the rezonings, but I mean, it's better than what we had before.
Baker lives in the area and has been an advocate for a moratorium on high-density rezonings along the highway for months.
It is really a safety concern. It's not just a pain in the butt sitting in traffic. It's a concern of the public's safety.
Yet the resolution county leaders are presenting.
If you want it rezoned, we're not going to rezone it until we got some plans in place where we know where the money's coming from, and we're going to be able to take care of that traffic on Highway 90.
Is not what she had in mind.
And see, that's another thing that concerns me, because they can make promises of fixing it and then move forward, but it looks like in the resolution that it was worded as they weren't going to approve anything until 90 was fixed.
As for what other neighbors think, county leaders say they're getting mixed feedback.
Some of them are very excited about it, that it maybe would slow growth down a little bit. And then there's others. I've had a gentleman call me, and I think he's got 24, 25 acres in there, and he wants to rezone it. And he said, you know, this is my land, and, you know, I hate it for him, but we need to get the road fixed before we keep adding more traffic.
Now, Councilman Hardy tells me county leaders have a meeting with DOT on the 23rd. He also says county leaders are talking with delegates and senators to see what funding they're going to get from the state.
Thought the pandemic was coming to a close a few months ago when they had to make a decision, so they signed their kids up for in-person learning. Now they say that's a big mistake and they want to change it. Students in Marlboro, Dillon, and Horry counties head back to class next week. Some parents are scrambling to switch them from in-person to virtual learning because of coronavirus cases in their community. They're paying close attention to what's happening in the districts that already returned, like Florence and Darlington counties. Marilyn Wilson of Bennettsville tried to switch her granddaughter, who is a special needs student, from in-person at Marlboro County High School to virtual Thursday morning, but was told she can't. Wilson says they cannot afford to get sick.
She's got to have surgery, and I'm going to the cancer center, and it would be easier if it's virtual.
Marlboro County School District Superintendent Dr. Gregory McCord says he understands parents' concerns, but switching isn't that easy. He says it requires staffing changes.
In the small rural counties such as Marlboro County, it's always difficult to find teaching staff. And so once we press play, then we have to let it run its course. And again, as I said, we're providing a safe environment.
Horry County school spokesperson agrees that switching involves shuffling and reassignment of teachers. She says with 45,000 students in the district, they can't allow parents to make the switch until after the first semester. Some parents told me they think the districts aren't budging because they lose money when kids aren't in school for face-to-face instruction. Dillon District 4 Superintendent Ray Rogers tells me if their virtual program enrollment goes over 5% of their student population, they could lose state funding. But if that's what they have to do, he'll do it.
I'm not calling Columbia if I got a situation where we got teachers and students at risk. We don't have time to get permission. We'll just have to ask for forgiveness.
Many district leaders say they feel the same way. If they are forced to go virtual, they'll just have to lose money because they don't want any staff members or students to get sick.
Games, food, and connections. That's what you could expect at Hartsville's annual National Night Out event. Dozens of community members stopped by Bury Park to interact with first responders and other local organizations. Hartsville City Councilman Kenzie Delane says for some, today meant more than just a fun night out.
This venue providing an opportunity for young children and some adults to meet their heroes on a personal level.
Kids learned how to use a fire extinguisher, a fire hose, and safety tips from Hartsville police officers. Lieutenant Tiande Richardson with the Hartsville Police Department is the head of community outreach and says closing the gap between law enforcement and the community is vital.
You know, we can't do it without them, and vice versa, they can't do it without us. Working together is very important, and being in the community and the community loving us and respecting us and we respecting them is very important.
The Hartsville area has seen multiple shootings this year, and while law enforcement has made strides to stop the violence, Delane says it's going to take a team.
It's not us against them. We're one community. At Hartsville, I always say, I represent one district, but we're 6 districts, 1 city.